Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest game console of them all for 2024? It's Pandora Box Platinum, folks, and I would unbox this, but I'm just going to show you the ones that are already unboxed. So that's the box, and here's what's inside. So if you guys are wondering what the best Pandora Box console is, or just the best multi-game console, you're staring at it. And what you're staring at is the separated panel. So we would call this the dual or separate panel. Okay, so is this one. Then is the single panel, which is the 2-player. So it kind of looks like this, but it's all like one piece. All right. And now we also have the wireless edition. Basically, it comes with 2 wireless controller or joysticks, like so. Well, joysticks or 2 wireless pads. And this cool little contraption here that basically plugs directly into the TV. Right, it has all the same connection points, so you can go pro with it if you really want to with VGA and such. And yeah, and it's that simple. So now I want to show you. So unlike the other guys that have, thousands of shovelware thrown into it, where most of the games don't work, they don't start up, they don't run right. Just compatibility is horrible. There's games that literally repeated like 9,950 times. Pandora Box Platinum is a professional console in the facts that, one, it's developed for, home arcade use. So it's just a plug and play design via HDMI, has the ability to have archive cards, okay, 3 and 4 expansion capability. If you're using a VGA monitor on the go, this is your volume, okay? You can control that here. Right now I'm in the configuration settings, so it has actual configuration. The other nice thing about the unit is that it's actually got arcade parts, right? So there's a lot of guys out there who will be like, oh, well, we have, joysticks and, that look like this, but they're imitators. And you can often imitate it, but never duplicate it, because these are real arcade parts, folks. Hear that? If you felt it, it's a little hard for you to feel through video, but you could definitely feel the difference. And even the buttons, the way that they react, a lot different. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can go Sanwa. That's right, you can go Japanese style, because every single person who purchased one of these multi-game consoles will feel the difference. You can't find any negative things about it breaking online, and you can't find anything about the way it feels. Why? Because nobody complains when things are great. People only complain when things aren't so great. And we made a great machine so that way there's, separate the men from the boys. And let me show you the difference, okay? So the first thing is that I'm gonna hit back. Just gonna go save an exit. So the nice thing again about this is that there's lots of games that you can archive and you see on the website. You can play, one player by itself. You can play 2-player games. You can play 3-player. You can play 4-player. And not to go into fine detail about all that, but there's other videos. If you subscribe to our channel, you can see that. You can obviously do things like even turn off the menu music. I actually happen to like the menu music, but I can click that CFG button right there, and then this is where a lot of the extra magic happens. The nice thing about this is yes, if you put this in an HDMI enabled machine cabinet, you can actually you can go into game service settings, and you can go into credits. So you can actually input a password. If you want to set up, you can check another video for that, but you can set it up where you're actually putting in coins if you want to go old school. All right, but obviously out the box for TV purposes, plug and play, we don't have that set up. You can go to input settings, and you can turn this. So for instance, let's say you go to SNES archive, or maybe some NES stuff, right? You want to play on this, because it just feels wonky on a joystick. Like, there's just certain games that they weren't developed for joystick, they were developed for a pad, and you can plug this in, okay? And then you can set this right here, this USB game port 1, to be the number 1 player. So this will take over this, okay? So again, there's a lot of options here. Not only can you use it with regular pads, but like I said, you can use it with a wireless pad. Okay, we have wireless pads that are sold separately that actually work, right? They were configured to work, all right? It comes with its own dongle, all right? And then again, the wireless joysticks. And if that wasn't cool enough, right? So we have the retro pads that work, but we even have we have PS4 controller. Now the cool thing about the PS4 controller is that it has to be wired, right? So it does have to be wired in, so you have to use that wire here and connect it in. But if you use that, it'll pass through the audio, so you can actually listen through your headset, which is a nifty little thing. So if you want to like, hey, I want to pass through the audio, you could just put your headset in there and you can listen to the audio and control. And believe it or not, some games you actually need these analog because some arcade stuff, believe it or not, wasn't developed with a joystick in mind, right? So let's just say you want to play Arkanoid and you want to use the analogs. You want to play Choplifter. You want to play, like Outrun, certain games that require like a steering wheel and a proper analog. It just feels right. This is what you're going to use, even for the PSP stuff, right? Because this enables even PSP emulation. So again, really important to know is that this is a truly all-in-one console that is supported, right? So you get support. That's the other beautiful thing about it. You don't get that, whizzy yig, 50,001 happy fun times. You get a real home arcade experience that you can drop in anywhere. This is great on a coffee table. This is great on those little dining tables, fold-out dining tables. I've used these just about anywhere, even on vacation in a hotel. So it is truly awesome. So let me show you real quick also too. So they're all breaking it into archives. So on your behalf, we create your archives, okay? And the nice thing about it is that it actually performs. So this is, I think this is one of the fighting archives. And you can see Capcom vs. SNK 2. These are arcade versions, okay? So a lot of these games are arcade versions. All right, so we go to 2D. We can see here Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, Marvel Superheroes, Mortal Kombat, Sim shows. Again, there's a lot here. I'm not going to go through a list of games, but I will tell you that you have the ability to play in an actual arcade experience. So, for instance, this is a Naomi title, and if nobody knows what Naomi, it's the hardware that the original arcade boards ran on. And for anybody who does own Naomi, they know what I'm talking about, so they can obviously know the scenario. And yes, it's 1-to-1. It plays you can set up your 4:3 ratio if you want, or you can pull it apart. You'll have a lot of people comment, oh, well, how come it's stretched? Well, if you have a 75-inch TV or 80-inch TV, I've seen actually 85-inch TVs and even more, it's cool in 4:3, but if you have a small TV, why not stretch it? But it's up to you. It's all preference, right? Like, I don't really mind it being stretched, but right now we don't have it stretched. But you can see how it says credits. So this has been configured. And again, this has been configured for optimal online play. We have people who are pros who play on this for practice to beat kids locally, all right? So we hit start and that the start button and the play button, pause button, and it'll bring up this menu. And you hit exit, so it has full-on menus. And then the other thing about it is that because, again, we'll go over other videos, it even has the menus for you to configure buttons actually in-game. So for instance, for a 2D game, let's just go to, I don't know, let's just pick, let's just say SNK. I don't want to play right now. Let's say X-Men vs. Street Fighter. So if I wanted to load X-Men versus Street Fighter, all right, depending on what's running on, and you can just test this easily, you just press these three and the start button at the same time, and you bring up this menu. And again, we went over it in another video, but you can actually change the input within this game. So let's just say somehow, some way, that this arcade version isn't short, medium, fierce, well, it's, what is it, light punch, medium punch, hard punch, whatever. You can set that, okay? So it's totally configurable, all right? So that's another beauty about this, is that you actually have those options. So between all these options, between the extra controllers, 3 and 4 players, you could play 1 player. And I also didn't mention this, but you can't really tell, but with them bunched up behind the TV. But even the cords are longer. They're higher quality, high density 2.0 HDMI cords that come with it, and longer AC adapter, right? Because you're not trying to eat the TV set, right? No one's trying to eat the TV set. So between all of those things, what is the greatest console of them all? Well, with the ability to literally play thousands and thousands of great home arcade stuff that was never, well, it'd be in your home arcade now, but also the ability to play things like TurboGrafx, Naomi, PS1, I mean, the list goes on, PSP titles. I mean, there's just so much that it's always being engineered to be able to, to work with. But honestly, you just want a great game experience, right? So we're just all about offering that great game experience. And now you can do that finally with the Pandora Platinum. So again, guys, if you guys, it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe. Again, this is one of the best arcade consoles, retro arcade systems for 2024. And we're going to continue developing this great hardware and software for you guys. And again, if you haven't gotten it, go to pandoraplatinum.com, take a look at your options, your build out options, and just know that, when you go retro, you don't go anywhere else, because retro is here to stay. And there's just some really great games, that you can play with. I mean, literally hundreds. And there's also new stuff too. You'd be surprised. There's lots of new mods that come out. Just really great, awesome stuff that you didn't even know existed, right? So you're gonna be able to play that also on the Platinum. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, just check us out and subscribe for more play videos of your favorite video games from the last 40 years. Talk to you guys soon.